What's one of the meanest things you ever did as a kid? Reddit. When I was about 8, my best friend was a boy named Hunter, and he was 2 years older than me. He kept hitting me, so I got fed up and grabbed his head and rubbed his braces into the carpet and got him stuck and left him there. I hid my brother's driver's license because I thought if you drove without one, you would automatically die in a car accident. Imagine the guilt you would feel and counseling you would have needed if he did get in an accident and die. That would have sucked.
Several weeks after my bully's father was killed in a freak boating accident, she was pulling my hair and screaming all over the playground about how ugly and horrible I was. So I got right in her face and sneered, "At least I have a dad." She crumbled in a way I have never seen since. To this day, I regret saying that.
I imagine a ton of kids on the playground simultaneously going "oh." Then an epic rap battle ensued. I was probably 4. We were on a field trip for the preschool I went to. Very small school, so the parents all teamed up and took 2 to 4 kids each to the place we were going. I got partnered with a little girl named Ivy. Ivy was a spoiled brat. Ivy wasn't happy that we were going with them because she wanted her friend instead. Ivy proceeds to cry. And cry, and cry, and cry. Somewhere along the line, I think about halfway there, badass preschool me decided that the crying had to stop. I'd heard a little catchphrase before, so I thought I'd try it on for size. "If you don't stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about." Nope, no stopping anytime soon. So, I had to make a decision. Badass me said if you don't follow through, she won't take you seriously. Not so badass me wasn't sure how my mom and her mom would respond. When the crying not only continued, but increased in volume, badass me decided enough was enough. Wham! Slapped her face and said, "There, now you have something to cry about." I was a bit of a bully as a kid. When I grew up, I saw the error of my ways and dedicated my life to helping other people. It was a long and difficult road. Even as a youngster, I could see that the police force was corrupt and often caused more problems than they solved, so I set my sights higher. The FBI training was tough, but I stayed true to my dream. I made myself a machine of my own will, and I expected nothing less than perfection from myself. It was hard, but I rose through the ranks almost despite myself. No one else was as dedicated as me. People seem impressed when I tell them I'm a secret agent. Yet, in all honesty, I always feel like a failure. If you ever met me, I'd shake you calmly by the hand, but in my head I'd already have worked out 6 ways to kill you. Everyone in my line of work has a story of neglect behind them. An unloved childhood. Still, I'm the only person I know who found a skeleton of his younger brother attached to a carpet by his braces. When I realized I had the potential to be popular, but one of my friends was holding me back, I know, despicable. So I wrote her a note signed by all of my new friends telling her to find a new group of friends. She didn't show up to school the next day. I'm a horrible human being. People did something like that to me. I had a best friend who I loved dearly, he was awesome. He stood up for me and we were really good friends. However, his friends threatened to exclude him forever if he talks to me. He stopped talking to me. I was devastated and so was he. That's when we began our secret friendship. Go on. I was a real bastard, but the worst thing was seemingly innocent. Every time my friend said something about schoolwork, I purposely said a quiet PFF to mess with his confidence. I did it through a long time until he lost all confidence in his intellectual abilities and eventually broke down crying because of all my silent PFF. That's so devious. He probably had a man crush on you, and all your PFFs crushed his dreams of ever getting that sweet, sweet dick.
An awkward kid wrote me a sweet love letter for Valentine's Day in the 2nd grade. I didn't want anyone to get the impression that I liked him, so I walked across the front of the classroom with it and threw it away while everyone was watching.
Whoa. You scarred that poor boy for life. Gah, I feel so horrible about how callous I was about rejecting others, especially awkward people. Some kid said they liked me and all I could say was scream, "You." In front of everyone. I guess karma bit me back, and now I'm forever alone, haha. Sometimes I was a real cunt as a kid. Everyone in our neighborhood were pretty decent friends, even the ones that didn't like each other got along in groups. These two really awkward kids, Ryan and Matt, were picked on by practically everyone, but we never had any problem with letting them join in our games. One time we were having a snowball fight and I found that fattest, sickest and most illegal looking ice ball ever. Knowing it was ice, I beamed it at his face. Tore his face open. He was known for his anger problems. Part of the funny aspect about fricking with him, man, I was known for being able to run incredibly fast. He may have been a lot taller than me, but I knew he couldn't catch me. I took joy in having this bloody enraged kid chase me up the street, while me and everyone are laughing at his pain and anger. Sometimes I was a real cunt. I did two things that I still regret. 1. Waiting online at the water fountain in 2nd grade. My friend, Karen, has a lazy eye. I begin chanting retarded eyes Karen. She cries, I feel like an asshole, I learned that my words can hurt people. She grew out of the lazy eye and was still my friend after that too. Kindergarten. Mark, a boy in my class, has a beauty mark on his cheek. I say, you know why your parents named you Mark? Because you've got that big mark on your face. I didn't realize how mean that was and the fact that he was going to get shit like that for the rest of his life. I really regret this one. I truly do. When I was about 6 years old, I farted. And then I blamed it on the overweight girl who got bullied a lot. Something similar happened to me. We were in class and someone farted, we still don't know who it was tithes date, and everyone looked at the only fat girl in the class. Edit. To this date. I put noisemakers on the neighbor kid's bike. Told him they were bombs and if he rode his bike they'd blow up. He never rode again. Haha. And his parents didn't give a fuck? Dad Jeremy, where is your bike? I haven't seen you ride it for quite some time. Kid, there's a bomb attached to it dad, if I ride it, it will blow up. Dad, well, shit happens. I lied to a kid and told him those moisture-absorbing packages were rock candy and watched him eat an entire package. I knew it was toxic and wanted him to get sick. I read somewhere that they are not actually toxic and they're just labeled do not eat because they are a choking hazard. The 27-year-old me is relieved, but the 7-year-old me would be disappointed. Yeah, it's just silica gel, which is basically refined sand. Should be totally harmless unless it's inhaled. My friend and I really hated this girl in our 6th grade math class, mostly because she was extremely obnoxious and a real bitch to everyone. Her mom and dad were both top-notch doctors, and she would always mention that. So one day she started talking out loud obnoxiously about her plan to go to Harvard. We were only in 6th grade. And my friend got really pissed, so she asked me to give her the gum I had been chewing. She went over to her and put it right on the top of her hair. Like, comment, and share. Reddit Story Topper. Subscribe now.